What's up, guys? Finally, I'm here to make my review for Halloween Kills. I just want to say thank you so much for the 300 views on my previous video. That is just so nuts. It was a first reaction, straight out. Well, not really straight. It was like 2 or 3 hours after I seen the movie, and it was just my first initial reactions to what I thought about that film. Now, I apologize. It wasn't like a review like this. It wasn't, at least, a little bit of effort into it. It was just on my phone, whatever. Anyways, you guys aren't here for all that bullshit. We're here to talk about Halloween Kills. And I've got a list right here, just to help me kind of stay on track, so that we get through this entire thing. It's probably going to be a longer video. Just letting you guys know. It's probably going to be a little bit long, but, we're going to talk about it. Alright. I apologize for the wait. I've been, on vacation with my family. If you guys don't know, I'm actually in college. I'm up here at college right now, and I went down to, 3 hours away to go see this movie and go on vacation with my family. So I haven't been, here to make my video. I didn't have my equipment. So, I came home and I was going to get you guys a review out yesterday. But I had a lot of classes, it signed me stuff. So I have been awake now for about 24 hours. So bear with me. I'm going to be a little bit, disjointed, but we're going to get through it. Okay, so here's a little bit of history. Halloween 1978. That is, besides The Thing, it is my favorite horror film of all time. I was introduced to it as a kid. It was my first, technically, slasher film, and I've adored it ever since. I don't think it's the best, film of all time, of course, but I think it is possibly, it's in the talks for one of the best horror films of all time. It is a ghost story. It is, about a person literally being the embodiment of evil. And that concept was executed brilliantly by John Carpenter. And, he's my favorite horror director of all time. Now, with Halloween 1978, I love the simplicity of it. And I feel like, we've never been back to that quality standard since 1978 until Halloween 2018. And Halloween 2018 just understands it. It understands that Michael, the approach to go with Michael Myers with Halloween is simplicity. It's not some, big blockbuster, really, psychological thriller, like, you don't really have to think too hard to watch a Halloween film. However, you do have to pay attention to the aesthetic, to the writing, because Michael Myers is very, if you don't remember, in 1978, Loomis is really, the main character. He's the person that explains to us that Michael Myers, there's nothing behind those eyes. It's pure evil. We rely on someone to tell us that Michael is a bad guy. We rely on Loomis in 1978 to tell us that he is a bad guy. And the descriptions is what really makes Michael Myers Michael Myers. It's not, the kills. It's not the mask, in my opinion. It's someone telling us, this guy's got something wrong with him. This guy is fucking scary. Something's wrong. That's really what makes Michael Myers Michael Myers. That's what stands out for him. It's what makes him unique. So, we get to 2018, and, I thought that they handled the actual source material, going back to fucking 1978, and respecting what came before. Respecting and giving little nods here and there, little, callbacks. I thought they handled the actual source material correctly. And that's what made Halloween 2018 so successful, is because knew that the fans of 1978 are going to come see this movie, and that's the core audience. That's who you're trying to make this movie for. People have waited so long for a damn good Halloween film to come out, and the sequels, excluding I'd say Halloween 3 and Halloween 2, they have mishandled Michael Myers and the story of Halloween at its core has mishandled it, time and time again. So we were just waiting and waiting, dude. And you get to Halloween 2018, and it looked fucking awesome. From the trailers, from everything. You watch the movie, they handle Michael Myers perfectly. James Q. Courtney acts just like fucking Nick Castle. You believe it is the same guy 40 years later. You believe it's Michael Myers. It's scary like that. And you get the same problem that I feel that you get here in Halloween Kills. I know I'm building up to Halloween Kills. I'm trying to get you guys filled in what my thoughts are leading up to it. So with Halloween 2018, you get a lot of comedy thrown in at the wrong places at the wrong time. Some of it's not even funny. It's just cringy. It's not really that good. It's just, bad horror movie fucking dialogue. And I feel like with movies like Silence of the Lambs, Seven, Seven's not technically a horror movie, and neither is Silence of the Lambs. They're technically, psychological thrillers. I still consider them horror films. Horror movies, yes, a lot of them have been schlocky, dreck, terrible. But I feel like horror movies have been done so much, and a large majority of filmmakers out there aspire to go into horror, and a lot of audiences love horror. I feel like we're past the point, with like Candyman, Get Out, there's so many movies that have come out that have really pushed the genre forward and treat it with respect. I feel like we're past the point of making shitty horror films in terms of the writing. We don't have to dumb it up. We don't have to make the dialogue so terrible, so out of this world. It's almost theatric. It sounds like trailer dialogue. It doesn't sound real. I feel like we're past that point. And comedy especially, a little bit of comedy is fine. It works perfectly, beautifully in the right places. But when you have Halloween, and the original film is not comedy, there's barely any moments of comedy in that film, if any. When you have that as a source material, you kind of do have to follow that up with the same tone and with the same aesthetic. With Halloween 2018, I feel like they did beautifully with handling the source material, but to me, it's not a good Halloween movie. It doesn't feel like Halloween. It feels like a slasher film, a really well-made slasher film. I can't fault the film on its technicality, on its technical aspects. It's a really well-made film, but the writing, a lot of the creative decisions that they go with, just with Sartain, Ray, all the story beats I feel were odd and didn't fit. The comedy I think was entirely misplaced. I think it should have been ripped out, and to me it doesn't work. Halloween, with a horror movie, you're not supposed to be fucking laughing. There's a golden rule that I always say, and I find it to be true in most films, and I think you'll agree with me here. Blood is not funny. Gore is not funny. It has to be done in a way that induces, especially in horror movies, induces fear. You're supposed to be scared. You're like, oh shit, someone's hurt. You know what I mean? Like that rush, that adrenaline rush you get whenever someone's hurt. Like it's like a mix of fear and caution and worry, into one emotion. You get all those feelings. And It's supposed to be scary. That's what horror movies do. They show you blood and gore to be scary. It's not supposed to be funny. In Halloween 2018, there's many scenes that it's funny. And it's not supposed to be. So, at the end of Halloween 2018, I was on cloud nine. The last 20, 30 minutes of that movie, the moment Michael gets to Laurie's compound, I was on fucking cloud nine. I was hyped. I was like, fucking go for it. Finally the movie's getting good. You know what I mean? Like, go for it. God damn it. Like, let's go. And I was so excited for what I saw in the trailer with, Laurie going to stab Michael or like slash Michael, and Michael catches her hand. That was in the trailer. And they build it as the final confrontation. So whenever I saw that in the trailer and we get to this compound, I'm over here thinking they're going for broke. You know what I mean? They're fucking going for it. You know what I mean? It made me excited as a Halloween fan. Now, you guys got to remember, at this point, we didn't know there was going to be, 2 sequels lined up. We just thought it was going to be one movie, one and done. That's it. And you get, Michael and Laurie going at it, and they lock fucking Michael into the damn thing, and he presumably burns alive, and the movie ends with them running away, getting into a truck, and then it just cuts to black. No one hurt severely. Laurie does get stabbed, but it doesn't really necessarily feel urgent. Nothing really happens besides Ray getting killed, which is the father of Allison and the husband of Karen. He's the only one that really dies here. But you do get a really cool, scene, with the cops, with the jack-o'-lantern head of one of the cops, his face, with a flashlight run through it. That was pretty fucking cool. But that's, like, to me, that ending was up here. Like, fucking up to 11, dude. And all of a sudden, it cuts to black, and it just says Halloween. I was like, really? That's it? And I just felt so fucking manipulated by that trailer and by the marketing of the film. So, we are at 13 minutes right now. It's not 13 minutes, for you guys, but because I'm going to edit this, but for me, it's 13 minutes. Let's get into Halloween Kills. So, you open up Halloween Kills. Now, you got to understand, where I'm coming from. With Halloween Kills, I was so damn excited. I waited 3 years for this movie to come out. And I was pissed at Halloween 2018. I wasn't necessarily pissed. I was just disappointed. It was just a mild disappointment. For that movie, I think I gave it like a 3.5, 4 out of 5. Or a 6 or 7 out of 10. It's not a bad score. I like that film. It's just, there's problems with it. There's a lot of problems with that film, and a lot of people have come around to that. So, when they announced Halloween Kills, I was like, oh shit, here we go, a trilogy. And I wasn't, upset about it. I was just like, oh shit, okay. And then they announced, Jamie Lee's coming back. It's going to be 3 movies, it's going to be a trilogy, all that shit. I'm like, cool. We get that first teaser, and you get Michael at the end of it just going, towards the camera. I was so fucking excited. Dude, holy hell. I was sitting there like, they're going for broke. They fixed the mistakes. Or they can fix the mistakes, sorry. They can fix their mistakes. They understand Michael. That's really what these guys got. David Gordon Green, Danny McBride and all of them. They can fix these mistakes. Like, the mistakes in 2018 weren't, career-ending. They can be fixed with a sequel. You get the test screenings. I heard the test screenings came back and everyone was saying it was gory, intense, brutal, the most brutal Myers of all time, scary, all these things, emotional. And I'm hearing all these things and I was like, holy shit, they're going for it. This is going to be the one. This is going to be the Michael fucking Myers movie. This is going to be the Halloween, the next, Halloween 1978. It's going to be the next, beloved classic horror film for the next 40 years. It's going to pull on 1978. It's going to be remembered for 40 years. and it's going to be a classic. And as I saw a trailer, the first time you see a trailer for this film, I'm thinking, okay, it looks damn good. I wish it didn't show a lot of kills. And a lot of people were saying that it wasn't all the kills. It was, a few of them. But we ain't seen nothing yet. Then I'm like, man, with a little bit of the dialogue, there wasn't a lot of Lori, there's not a lot of Allison, there's just a little bit, but not a lot. I was like, it started to get me worried that maybe this film's going to sideline Jamie Lee Curtis. Let's fast forward to when I saw the film. I, came all the way out to where my family is, 3 hours away, and it was I went to I went to Pigeon Forge, which if you guys don't know where that is, it's pretty much, the Dollywood area, it's a pretty big, tourist trap. We went and did rides and all that stuff, and at the end of the week, it was going to be Halloween Kills. And my whole family came, my grandparents, for God's sake, came. I had them all roped in thinking that this movie is going to be something fucking, a treat to watch, something scary, And, they fixed all the mistakes, and I heard that too, from the test screens, like there's barely any comedy. It's still there, but it's not as much, all this shit. Let's get into the actual review, guys. I'm tired of waiting for it. We've got a lot talking. So the flashback. The movie starts with a flashback, and it goes back to 1978, and you see Tommy. Actually, not, you don't start out with Tommy. You start out with Hawkins, and he's pursuing Michael. It's right after Halloween 1978 ending, where he gets, he's gone off the lawn, and, he's, walking, Michael's walking throughout Haddonfield, and Hawkins is chasing after him. That scene was awesome, in my opinion. When that scene opened up the film, I was like, holy shit. They fucking understand Halloween. I was fucking ecstatic. I was sitting there, clapping and shit. It was embarrassing for me, but at the same time, my family knows how much I love that original film. It's the reason why I'm getting into filmmaking. That's the reason why I'm here at college. I was so happy with that flashback. It was intense. It wasn't scary, because, I'm desensitized to, horror now, especially since I'm going into that genre. I understand and have studied it time and time again. I understand it. I know how it's done, is what I'm trying to say. There's a lot of things that we do as filmmakers that we do to manipulate you as the audience, is what I'm trying to say. And whenever I'm an audience member, I understand this shit. I see it. I can't block it out. I know how it's done. And that flashback, the mask, Arnie or Aaron Armstrong, who plays Michael Myers in that flashback, was fucking awesome. It ends with a beautiful shot of, Michael Myers standing there, and they don't show him getting, fucking, thrown on the ground and handcuffed or thrown him into the damn police car. They end it with, a standstill, sort of, a standoff. And it was done so well, and you get that beautiful Loomis, callback, you get a Loomis, coming back into the fucking mix in that flashback, and he's like, where is he? Did he kill it again? You know what I mean? He was so fucking awesome, dude. I can't believe they actually did it. And it looked just like, 1978. I meant to, I'm supposed to have my notes out, but I'm sitting here talking. You get the aesthetic of the original Halloween 1978. It feels like Halloween. And, the blue lighting, the nighttime feel of it, that, fall, almost winterish, cold, autumn, aesthetic. I can't explain it. It's like I can't explain it. It's like, during the day it feels like, Halloween. During the nighttime it feels like a cold, autumn night. And with the leaves brushing and the pumpkins, and it reminds me of Halloween. This is the most Halloween film that we've gotten. Like the Halloween feel, the aesthetic of it. This is the most Halloween that we've gotten since 1978. And that's what had me in Cloud 9. And then you go directly, back to back, a double whammy of fucking Michael, revealing that he gets out of the gun cabinet, or the gun, fucking room, in that hole, in that bunker, or whatever it's called, in the room that Laurie locked his ass into in Halloween 2018. He's actually in the gun cabinet, and he rolls that fucking thing up, and you get that badass fucking, like, dude, literally, when that fucking music cued in, holy shit, I was fucking pumped. And, quick little mention, the opening of this movie has really good synth scoring by John Carpenter. The actual, like, sound of the credits, we're in for a fucking dread, kick-ass movie. You feel like some shit is gonna happen. Something deep, something brutal. You just feel the dread fill you up in that theater. Not even when a scene has happened yet. It's just the credits, dude. That is the art. To make the credits look like it's some shit's about to go down. That is an art right there. Anyways, sorry for getting off topic. No, we're on topic, but you know what I mean. And he kills the firefighters, and just the aesthetic of fucking Michael Myers with that burned mask stepping out from the fucking flames, and him standing there like, alright, bitches, who wants a fucking daddy? You know what I mean? Like, he's standing there like, alright, you motherfuckers, it's time. And, dude, when he fucking just goes, woo, and it, like, flips the fucking, the spike thing that he's got, the little fucking, pipe that he's got, and he's just like, let's go. And all the firefighters are like, what the fuck? Oh shit. Yo, dude, you cool? Like, you good? Like, they're like, who's this motherfucker? Like, God, did you know Halloween's about to end? Like, we've only got a few hours left. Like, it was so funny. But then they realize, oh shit. Whenever he fucking flips it, they're like, oh shit, rev the chainsaw. They know it's fucking Michael Myers. Like, for some reason, they know to, start to, to get aggressive on him for some reason. But I can overlook that because, holy shit, it's almost like they know who the fuck it is. This guy's threatening, you know what I mean? You get the beautiful fucking kills in that scene, fucking impaling one guy, chainsawing another. You get some POV shots that was really fucking cool in that sequence. That's not really been done a lot in the Halloween franchise, so that was pretty damn unique. And then you get, if I'm not mistaken, you go to the bar scene. Now, I'm probably going to be, misstepping, misplacing where certain scenes are, but I'm going to be talking about them. And this is a spoiler review, so you should have already seen the movie. I don't need to lay out this entire film like it's a damn movie, this entire review out like it's a damn movie. You should be able to pick up what I'm talking about. And I'm going to try and describe it, so don't, take offense to that. I'm going to try and describe the scenes as much as I can. Just know that, I have ADHD, so it's really hard for me to keep focus. So we get to the bar scene, and you get Lonnie, which I forgot to mention, he's in the flashback as well. He gets his own little, moment with Michael, and basically, he is like, Tommy, get your ass up here, and Tommy walks up Anthony Michael Hall, which is a damn good actor. If you don't remember, he's from the Breakfast Club, and you start to realize that these characters are from the original 1978, which if you're a fucking Power fan like me, like a fucking Halloween fan like me, you know exactly who these characters are supposed to be. But you realize that, You get the nurse Marion from the original 1978. You get Lonnie. You get Tommy. You get Lindsay. You get all these legacy characters back in this film, and basically they commemorate or remember Lori and how she saved them and all this shit. And then you get the reveal that Michael Myers, or like that there's a patient that escaped and all this shit. I may actually be skipping ahead on accident, but actually, yeah, I am. You get this couple, this old folks home couple, who get killed right off the bat. And you get a really cool scene with Michael, stabbing the wife in the fucking throat with like a LED bulb, fucking, a light bulb thing. Kills her with that, and he kills the husband with the fucking knives, and he's like playing with the knives, seeing like, oh shit, this one actually cuts better. He's like, this one's mine, and then he just walks away. That scene was really cool because it kind of calls back to 1978 with how Michael is sort of fascinated with his killings. Like he's fascinated with certain aspects of it. It's sort of like a child, which a lot of people a lot of lines in these films have referenced Michael as like just a 6-year-old child in a man's body. That's pretty much like the way people describe Michael in some of the films. That's pretty much a way to call him. He's very childlike. And that's a scene that embodies that. And it carries over. It literally goes right back to the original film. And I thought it was done beautifully here. And then you get... that's when it cuts back to the bar. Actually, I think it's supposed to... I think I missed a part, with Lori recovering and, Ray from 2018, Karen's husband, Allison's father, a little bit of scenes there, but we'll get there. You get the reveal that Michael Myers, or actually you don't find out that it's Michael Myers. Like, we know it from, 2018, but these characters are revealed that there is 2 mental patients that escaped, and there's a lot of bodies, racking up. And immediately, Tommy's just like, it's Michael. It's gotta be him. And it's like, dude, you don't know that. Like, alright. And they talk about their PTSD a lot, like with these legacy characters. And the problem that I have with that is that these characters, it's 40 years later, and it's only 3 people, if I'm not mistaken, from 1978 that were killed. 3 people. That's all that Michael killed in Halloween 1978. And they're acting like, if you don't remember, they retconned every film past the original film. So the timeline is Halloween 1978, 2018, and now Halloween Kills and Ends. So, at this point in time, everyone hasn't figured out that there's more killings until the scene that I'm talking about. They have all this PTSD from what? They act like they each had their family slaughtered when they didn't. It was only 3 people. Yeah, I can understand Lori, but I can't understand Tommy. Or, Lonnie, Lindsay. I don't understand that. It may have been scary, yes, but I don't see them having this fucking, life-ruining PTSD from that incident. It's just hard for me to grasp. And I feel like the performances from all of these legacy characters, I think, were pretty damn abysmal. Especially Anthony Michael Hall. And I don't think it's necessarily the performances. I think it's more of the writing. You're going to hear me talk about the writing a lot in this movie. The writing, the actual dialogue in this movie is so brain dead that it's so hokey and just unrealistic and theatrical that it is so hard to stomach as films that are better than Halloween Kills and better than 2018. And especially in 2018, you had lines that, were damn near, fucking solid in 2018. Yes, there were problems, like I said, but you get lines in 2018 that are actually pretty damn good, and then you get others that are fucking, shit and kind of stupid. Like, for example, I'm all chubbed out here, Allison. They fed, these girls fed me, guacamole in all these sexy ways. I'm all chubbed out over here. That shit was fucking stupid. That isn't a line that I think is fucking stupid as shit. But it's funny to like, actually, like, when you watch the movie, it doesn't sound stupid or funny because Michael's there. But, like, I may be wrong on that. You may not know he's there, but you got that feeling. But when you say them out loud as a person, as a real person, it's so fucking stupid. Like, I don't know. So, in this movie, I feel like a lot of the lines, like, evil dies tonight, is just, like, so weird. And Marion says that in such a weird place. They find out that Michael is alive. Or, not alive, but, like, they think it's Michael Myers that has escaped. And basically, there's a doctor and his wife out that have basically came over from 2018. You find out that they went to a bar, and basically the doctor and his wife hear that there's a killer out and about, and their immediate reaction is to fucking leave the bar and basically go outside in the dark. And the husband literally leaves his wife to go get his stethoscope. Like, what? There's a killer out. And there's bodies piling up. And the first thing you do is to go leave your wife out alone in the dark. That is fucking stupid. And especially the reasoning behind it is fucking stupid. Anyways. You find out that it's the mental patient, the other mental patient, that comes back from 2018. You find out that, he's there in this parking lot with this wife, with this woman, and he gets into the car, in their car specifically, and basically scares the wife, and they both, like, the husband comes out, and he's like, why are you so scared, all this shit, what I mean? And she's freaking the fuck out. And he's like, why, what's going on? And he's like, or she's like, it's Michael, it's fucking Michael Myers. Like, they're fucking, she's hysterical. But you find out that it's another mental patient that escaped on the bus with Michael. And, that's cool. I mean, I knew right then and there that that's where this movie's going. Like, it's going to be something about mob mentality and about the PC culture that we have now, the cancel culture that we have nowadays. They're going to play with that in terms of theme. Well, it ends up, let me go back to my notes. Basically, the husband comes back into the bar and says, Michael Myers is out there. That killer is out there. It's fucking Michael. Like, I don't know exactly what he says. I don't give enough of a fuck. But Tommy's like, no, not today. I'm gonna beat his ass. Like, love lives forever or something like that, or lives tonight. No, I think it's like love lives tonight or some shit. It's love. It's something about love. And he puts $1 in the change jar, and then Marion, for some reason, says, but evil dies tonight. Like, talk about misplacement and cringy as fuck. Like, especially like what I said earlier, like, there's no more, like, there's not a lot of kills. It's only 3 kills that these characters know of. And they're fucking terrified, dude. It's, like, so stupid, man. Like, so I thought that was a weird, like, placement of that line. Like, why would she say that? Like, she acts like her entire family was slaughtered by Michael Myers when it wasn't. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just hard to believe that that's her reaction, you know what I mean? Like I said, the Evil Dies Tonight line is so damn corny. It feels like something that Loomis would say, but it doesn't feel right because it's not coming from Loomis. Loomis, he was older. He had that gravitas, grandeur, like, delivery that, old time feel delivery that only older people can do. Like I feel like Clint Eastwood does that very well. Like his delivery is just so unique. It feels like every line is like a Shakespeare, a Shakespearean, play. Every line just feels unique, and they give lines like that to everybody. Like the "Evil Dies Tonight" thing, it was just so damn hokey to me. Especially from the characters that barely had anything to do with it, barely had an interaction with Michael Myers. Only 3 kills, and they're fucking petrified. They have all this PTSD, and yes, it's scary, and the situation's scary. But like I said, it doesn't make sense. It's only 3 people was killed by Michael Myers, and in fact, they referenced that in Halloween 2018, like the boyfriend of the blonde-headed chick in Halloween 2018 literally says, it was only like 3 people, and we have much bigger, casualties now. Like, shit's way worse now. It's only 3 people. But the whole town, for some reason, is like fucking plagued by this PTSD. I don't know. 40 years later, it's hard for me to believe, is what I'm trying to say. And they're doubling down on that. You get, like I said, the mob starts getting formed a little bit. You get Ray's acknowledgement that he died. He died at the end of 2018 with him getting choked out by Michael. And getting his neck snapped. And, of course, he burns, if he was alive, he'd get burned to death in fucking Halloween 2018. Because no one gives a shit. They don't care that he died. Laurie says that, sees that he's dead, but doesn't say nothing. So, he's dead. And they finally acknowledge it here, and it was very emotional. I liked that. It was actually emotional, and it was unique about the way they depicted it. Karen, washing her hands off and like feeling up on her ring finger, on her ring, and it hits her like, and it's actually pretty damn emotional. I'll give it that. And then that's not really what hit me though. Like emotionally, I was like, oh, what I mean. It didn't really hit me. Then you get later on in the film a scene where the kid who gets impaled, his mom comes to the morgue, and for some reason they have the fucking morgue just, the windows open and everything for some reason. I thought that was a little bit strange. And she's like, the mom sees her son there dead, and that one hit me. And I got to give them that. They give these little short scenes that, have more meaning now. And it is semi-emotional. It's not like fucking crying your fucking face off emotional. I feel like they're a little bit short in terms of the scenes themselves. Like, they're really quick. They're maybe 10, 15 seconds, with the emotions behind it. They don't draw it out. And that's the only problem. In terms of pacing, they slow down parts that I feel like that shouldn't be slowed down, but they ramp up, they run through the emotional aspects of what happened in 2018. I thought this movie would actually be more of a half and half. Like, half of the movie is like everyone finding out that their loved one, like it was going to be a hard hitter, you know what I mean? Where all these people find out that their sons and daughters have died, and it's the emotional ramifications of that from 2018, and like half the movie would be slowly gathering everybody together, all these fucking, parents together, and that is how our mob, would form. Half the movie is is these parents slowly, finding out that their kids are dead, and Tommy's like, guys, something like this happened in 1978. I think it's time. You know what I mean? I thought that's how the mob would form. And then the other half of the movie would be fucking just Michael tearing through him. You know what I mean? And, it didn't happen like that. It was, they get to the hospital with Laurie, and Laurie's in the fucking bed for the entire movie. We sideline Laurie Strode, which is, your main character in all, aspects of this fucking, reboot. she is the main character, and you sideline her for all these legacy characters. And that's not, that's not a terrible idea, but we're going to get into it. So you get to the point where Tommy comes in and basically forms this mob. He goes to the hospital, sees Lori, which, I would think there would be a little bit more of an emotional reunion. There wasn't. I was a little bit disappointed by that, but, whatever. I can forgive little things. To me, that's little. That's a nitpick. Where this sort of starts going fucking haywire is Tommy. You think he's, he is, in all, in all aspects of this story, of this, chapter, he is really who we are rooting to fight Michael and to beat him. Or at least, hurt him. And you think he's, he's smart. You are on the ride with him. This is a Tommy film, in my opinion. It's not, you would think it was a Michael film or a Laurie film. It's actually really a Tommy, and I would think, what's his face? Hawkins. And that's not a spoiler. Hawkins does, come back. And like I said, you guys, should be, you guys should have seen the film already. So that's not a spoiler. It's really those two, characters, it's their film. And with Tommy, immediately, he's like, we have strength in numbers. But then the next scene, the next fucking line of dialogue he has is, all right, guys, no more than 4 in a group. Let's split up. You guys go here, you guys go here, you guys go here. And it's like, let's backtrack and go back to what you just said. No splitting up. We have, fucking strength in numbers. What the fuck? Why are you splitting everybody up? It doesn't make any sense, guys. There's a lot of contradictory statements, and it's like one person wrote all the dialogue and one person wrote all of the action. There's no coherency, and that's what really pisses me off. There's a lot of contradictory things that happen. A lot of contradictory direction and writing. And then you get Little John and Big John. And those characters were funny when I first saw it. They are a couple that have basically bought out Michael Myers' house. And if you remember in Halloween 2018, or not 2018, but 1978, it had been, abandoned. No one would buy it. You know what I mean? And they, in this movie, they actually go back to that house. And I thought it was really damn cool how, there's trick-or-treaters and shit, and there's a really tense scene. But the problem with their characters is that Little John, I have this knife. Big John, me too, I have one. Little John, Big John, Little John, where are you going? Big John, over here. It's really weird. People don't talk like that. Like I said, going back to the fucking dialogue. To me, that was weird as shit. But you do get, we spend 20 minutes, or 20 to 30 minutes of this film with these characters. And you get one scene where, trick-or-treaters come by and they steal all their fucking candy, all this shit. And then later on, you get Michael Myers showing up. And one of the kills with the eye gouging was fucking incredible. I was like, holy shit. It made my stomach churn. I was like, oh, man. You actually see the eyeballs fucking plop out. And it was just so fucking, visual. I've seen eye gouges a lot. I've seen a lot of movies, but that one was that one hurt. I would have not, there's a lot of kills in this movie where you would not be on the end, you would not like to be on the end, the receiving end of it. But, I thought that was really well done. The actual kills in this movie are really well fucking done. It's just the problem is the dialogue. Every line of this movie past the first 20, 30 minutes. Like I said, guys, the first 20, 30 minutes of this movie, I was fucking like this. And then all of a sudden, it starts dipping down, dude. The dialogue, and even in the flashback, I gotta admit, even in the flashback, the dialogue's pretty damn hokey. It's very cheesy. But anyways, one of the other Johns sees their fucking loved one on the ground, dead, right? After Michael has fucking, eye gouged the shit out of him. He puts down his knife, and then sees Michael, and Michael, like, he's just like, Michael, you've come home. And then, you get Michael turning around and being like, yeah, I'm back. And then he kills the other John, and the other John just lets him kill him, I guess. We don't get to see it. And even later on in the movie, you don't fucking see, like, actually, I think you do. Yeah, I think you do see, like, how they died, or how that other John died. But it's like, whatever. He just lets him kill him. Okay. You get one pretty damn good scene with Lindsay getting attacked in her car. You get a really good comedic kill that Michael does where he kicks the door, and like that one chick who for some reason during that scene, like, that's what pisses me off about like every sequence of this movie. Every character in this movie was fucking stupid. Like, they did the most dumb, like, inhuman fucking things. Like, in particular, in this scene, you get, basically, Michael attacks this car. Lindsay gets out to go help these kids, like, to talk to these kids. Michael attacks this car, and two of these characters have guns. Marion attempts to shoot Michael. No bullets. I think that's bullshit, and it insults my intelligence as a Halloween, fan, as a horror fan. It's just the oldest trick in the book. I've seen it 100 times. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the bullshit, man. I'm tired of the stupid fucking tricks, that we've seen 1,000 times. And they think they're being so fucking clever. And they even had her say, this is for Loomis. And then immediately, no bullets. And, that was the biggest slap in the face to Loomis. Like, and then you get the wife of the doctor. She gets out of the car and she disappears for a fucking full minute. Like, dude, come on. Like, stop fucking insulting my intelligence, dude. I've seen horror movies before. You're not doing anything that's any fucking good. Like, you're not doing a good job at selling me on the horror. And a lot of this movie, the sequences, to me, are all about the kills. They're not about the horror aspect. It's not about the scares. There's not one moment in this movie that was actually scary. In 2018, there was moments where I was fucking on the edge of my seat. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and bullshit you. I'm not gonna shit my fucking, like, in this movie, I was not, I was like this the whole time. When I'm supposed to be like, I wasn't this entire film. I was not like that at all. At the end of the day, guys, it's a horror movie. My opinion is subjective as shit. It's subjective. But a lot of people are agreeing with me. Like, this movie was not scary. The dialogue was shit. It seems like they went all in on the humor and on the kills, but they just absolutely clawed the fuck out of the horror, the actual intensity, the scares, the emotional, the story. It feels like this movie just focused on the kills. And, there's one sequence at the end of the movie with the mob. I'm sorry we're jumping around, but, like, I'm sorry. It's just my ADHD. You get, the mob scene that, was pretty damn awesome when you're watching it. But after, 3 or 4 times of seeing this movie, like I have, like, I don't know if I mentioned that yet, but I've seen this movie 4 times now. When you get, dumb fucking character decisions, and they've got him, right? They've got Michael Myers fucking, down for the count, and then they just stop, like, little character decisions like that, it just hurts. The hospital sequence in this movie was fucking stupid. People were saying it's emotional as shit, I'm like, the guy looks like Danny fucking DeVito. They even show 2 different people. And for some reason, in the bar scene, when they show, like, the mental patients that escaped, for some reason they don't fucking reveal their names. But, I mean, maybe that's just, how it is, like, in reality. But I thought that was a little bit convenient. You get, them, this mob, chasing after fucking Danny DeVito for 30 minutes of the film, and, all it ends up is that, they fucked up. They found the wrong guy. It was the other mental patient, and, like, that's the message of the movie, is that, mob mentality is bad. And I agree with that message, but they fucking fumble on it, dude. In terms of a Halloween film, this movie really insults the fan base, in my opinion. There's a lot of spoon feeding. There's not a lot of subtlety. It's just, in your face. And for Halloween fans like me, who love the subtlety and the simplicity and, not going for this fucking Oscar-winning, idea of a script, of a scene, in this message. Like, it feels very political, and that's not what Halloween is to me. And it feels like a big slap in the face to the hardcore fans of this franchise. Alright, so, like, you get that whole scene with, the mob mentality message, and like I said, it's not, it was very odd that they would choose to do something tonally as a tone of the film, with the name of Halloween Kills. All of a sudden you get some, Oscar, moment, this, this message moment, like this emotional scene in between kills. It's just, am I supposed to be scared or am I supposed to be crying? Like, that's really, like, my problem with that. But, anyways, you get Tommy's realization that he killed the wrong person, all this shit, or that they had the wrong person. He didn't kill him, but, pretty much. And then you get to Allison with Lonnie. I forgot. I forgot to fucking mention. You get him in that scene. The reason why I brought up Lindsay's scene is because, it was very well done of a scene. But like I said, that chick, she just fucking disappears, immediately gets her head blown the fuck off by her own hand, because Michael kicks that shit. It was very, weird. But Lindsay, she disappears, like she runs off. She sees Michael coming after her, and, it's supposed to be a really intense scene. I was just sitting there like, whatever, whatever. But anyway, sorry about skipping back. I just want to let you guys know what I thought. She's breathing heavy fucking loud, and, like, Michael's just like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, bullshit. That scene was stupid. But anyways, you get to, the moment where Allison and Lonnie go to the Myers house with Cameron, and basically, they fucking are like, oh, we gotta go in there. But at the end of the day, it's stupid anyways. Why why the scene's even here. But Lonnie's like, you kids stay. Like, stay here. If anyone's gonna die, it's gonna be me. Like, he doesn't say that, but that's pretty much what he means. Which, if I was a parent, I would understand. But, he's out and about. Michael's, here. You kind of damn well know he's here. As an audience member, he's fucking in there. And you're like, when Lonnie goes in by himself, you're sitting there like, fuck. And then immediately a gunshot goes off, and boom, he's out for the fucking count. I thought that was fucking stupid. And then Allison and Cameron go in, and, you see, like, Little John and Big John fucked up, dead. And then, they hear a noise upstairs. They see Lonnie dead. Or at least, I think Cameron sees he's dead. His own father is dead. And then Michael, strikes, And they both get fucked up. Allison, fucking breaks her leg. Cameron, he gets stabbed. And they're stabbing the shit out of Michael, too. They're stabbing the fuck out of him. And, it's just, basically what ends up happening is Michael fucking kills, he fucks up Cameron. Like, literally, from what I've seen, a lot of people say what happened, you saw the scene itself, fucking Cameron is just getting bashed, up and down, and, it's pretty brutal, but you just see fucking, Allison just fucked up with her leg, and she's like, "Come here, take me. If you're gonna kill anybody, kill me." And then Michael just is like, "Okay, bitch." He starts walking down the stairs, and Cameron's still alive, and he's like, "I'm fucked," And Michael's just like, letting him suffer. And then Allison thinks that Michael's coming after her, and that Cameron's gonna live. No, Michael says, "Snip!" Snaps the fuck. Literally does a 360 with his fucking neck. Kills Cameron. Pretty damn brutal of a fucking kill, if you have to ask me. And Allison stands up. Her and Michael fight for maybe 5 seconds, and she's automatically thrown on the ground. He goes to, Michael goes to stab Allison. For some reason, this is the weirdest fucking line of dialogue in this whole movie for me. I don't understand it. She catches Michael's knife. Actually, I think she goes to stab him. I don't remember exactly what happens with this interaction, but there's a knife involved. I don't remember if she goes to stab him and he turns her hand on herself, but she's holding the knife. He's pressing down on it, trying to, stab her. For some reason, she goes, "Do it. Do it!" And then all of a sudden, you realize that fucking Karen is there, which, for some reason, I don't know if I'm wrong here, but she doesn't know where Michael Myers' house is. But maybe that's in, before Halloween 2018. Like, she was brought there, and, Lori told her where it was. You don't really understand how she knew that they were there. It was sort of weird. But she's there, and fucking, stabs Michael with a fucking pitchfork. Like, a fucking pitchfork, dude. I was like, holy shit, awesome. This is the dumbest. A lot of times this happens with this movie, dude. She fucking literally stops stabbing him. Stabbed him one good time, and Michael's on the ground. For some reason, she stops and takes off his mask, walks outside, and says, and Michael gets up. He's still alive, too. Michael gets up, and she walks outside, and she's like, "Do you want your mask? Come and get it! You want to kill someone? Take me!" Like, I was just like, that. Why didn't you just continue stabbing the shit out of him? Why? Why didn't you? You could have ended this. And that's what's so fucking funny, dude. There's multiple times where someone has gotten Michael close to death, but they just fuck up the execution, dude. It's fucking ridiculous. Anyways, Michael, Karen takes off down this fucking, neighborhood into this little alleyway. Michael's chasing after her, and it's a pretty awesome moment. Like, you hear the fucking Michael Myers theme song, the Halloween theme, but it's more sadder, and that's the one thing I like about the score. It's darker. It's a little bit more, dread. Like, there's a little bit more dread in it. You feel like at this moment when the Halloween theme plays with, the updated score by John Carpenter, his son, and his godson, emotionally, I was like, oh fuck, here we go. Karen dies. And at this point, you see Michael Myers unmasked. Now, I'm not talking like, fucking full bright lights. You see him fully, but you see like his hairline in the back of his head. You see him. And I could have gone without a couple of those shots. I do like the way it was shot, though. I think it was actually lit pretty well to where you don't see every little thing. But that's coming. Trust me. We're going to talk about it. And Michael walks down to the street, and there's his mask on the ground. And you find out that this was actually a trap. And Karen, once again, fools Michael. And every person, every legacy character, besides Lindsay, I think Lindsay's already hurt at this point. She's out of the count. She's out for the count. But all the legacy characters there. You got Brackett from Halloween 1978. You got Tommy there. You get this really badass moment like, holy fuck, this is gonna go for fucking broke. Like, at this point in the theater, I'm like, alright, I can forgive all the rest of that shit if this part is fucking awesome. The first thing that happens and you get the theme song in the background, and you hear fucking Brackett go, "Hey Michael, it's Halloween, and everyone's entitled for one good scare." That part in the theater, I literally looked to my brother. I said, "Let's fucking go. This movie's going for it." At this moment, like I said, I can forgive everything else, but this moment fucking is awesome. I can forgive it, and I'll walk away feeling not cheated. You get that badass shot of Michael saying, like, just looking around, right? And he knows he's fucked. You know it. And then in your mind, as the audience member, you're thinking, how the fuck is Michael going to get out of this? And you get one shot that I think ruins the entire mystique of Michael Myers. You see pretty much his entire face for a solid 2 seconds. His entire face. And for me, as a Halloween 1978 purist, I love that film. You should never see what Michael Myers' face looks like. And I know what everyone's going to say. You see it in 1978. But I feel like with this iteration, you don't need to see it. You don't need to see what his face looks like. He is the embodiment of evil. You don't have to see it. What's scarier is that, it's the theater of the mind. I don't know, I don't know exactly what that means, but I have my definition of it. You let your mind do the thinking. What isn't shown is more scarier. You know what I mean? Like, what your mind, cooks up is scarier than whatever anyone gives you. So, the way I always think of it is, if we never see what Michael Myers looks like, everyone's always going to have that question. What does Michael Myers look like? We know what he looked like in 78, under that mask when, Laurie takes his mask off. But now, what does he look like? There's that mystique. It's that mysterious aspect to it, that, ambiguity, that really, is scary. That's what makes Michael Myers scary to me. You don't know every ounce of him. You don't know, with all the other icons, you know exactly what they look like. With Michael, it's sort of in the dark. And with that one shot, it destroys that mystique. And you're probably saying, is that the moment? No. That's not the moment that this movie failed for me. You get the badass musical cue where, you fucking get, the the score, the Halloween Triumphant score, that track plays, and it's this badass, grand, epic moment when Michael goes down, picks up the mask, puts it on, and in your mind as the audience member, oh, fuck, this is gonna go for broke. I'm in for a treat. You're sitting there like, holy shit. And Michael's getting his ass kicked, literally getting fucking beat by goddamn, 2x4s, or planks of wood, fucking pitchforks, he gets shot like 4 or 5 times. He should be fucking dead. He falls to the ground. They're still beating the shit out of him. They stop. Why? This motherfucker is dangerous, and for some reason he hasn't died yet. And you stop? What are you doing? Like I said, what I said earlier, they keep stopping when they should be fucking going all in. And Karen, and Tommy says, we got this, Karen. Go be with Laurie. Go be with your mom. She picks up the knife, which Michael is struggling to, he's fucking trying to get that damn knife, but he doesn't quite get it. She picks up the knife, stabs him in the shoulder, walks away. You think he's dead. And then you get fucking Laurie giving this goddamn speech about how, the more he kills, the more he transcends. He is evil. He is the embodiment of evil. I am the reason that Michael has killed all these people tonight. She goes into this fucking monologue. That's not everything that's said. I'm paraphrasing a lot of the lines here, but, she goes on about, how, Michael is, going after her. Hawkins is like, no, that's not why. and you have no, you have no attachment. Like there's no oomph behind those lines. It's very tired feeling, and the lines are very fucking cheesy, and it's just stupid. The moment this movie pissed me off was Michael gets up and takes the knife out of his shoulder, kills Brackett, and is literally just one by one in like a 80s montage, kills all of these legacy characters. All these characters, man. And, Tommy, out of everyone who should have a one-on-one with Michael, it's fucking him. He goes to swing the bat in a very weird fucking angle, like camera angle. It's edited very weird. Like, this section of the movie is like fucking weirdly edited. And oddly shot. Tommy goes for a swing, fucking Michael stabs him in the fucking, chest or in the side or whatever. He's like, falls to the ground, Michael picks up his bat that he's been fucking saying he's gonna, and, for some reason, Tommy keeps saying, oh, I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna fucking kill you, all this shit, right? And it comes back to bite him in the ass. A lot of people would say that's irony, that's, smart. I think it's bullshit. He should have had a one-on-one and then that happens. But the way it's done is just so cheap. That whole segment, it felt very cheap. Like, every shot is like people going, like, fucking, like, towards the camera and shit. It's very cheaply done, and it's very insulting as a modern filmmaker and as a horror film fan. It's just so cheap, man. Stop being cheap. Quit insulting us, man. We are past this. I feel like we're past that. In the 80s and 90s, we've had cheap fucking horror movies. We are now making multi-million-dollar horror films. Let's stop with the insulting dialogue, the insulting character direction. Let's stop it, dude. Come on. It's just so cheap. And you find out by David Gordon Green that they shot that on a soundstage. What did I tell you? It felt cheap. It looked cheap. That's exactly what happened. And they didn't do it well. And then the ending of the movie, you get Karen going back to Allison. She goes upstairs, and there's the whole movie. There's been this thing about this fucking window that Michael looked out, his sister's bedroom window, and Hawkins gives this fucking line earlier on in the movie where he's like, maybe he was looking in, like whenever he sees like his reflection, It's just so fucking, so hokey. It's just so bad, man. Like, fuck. This fucking movie, man. Waited 3 years. 3 fucking years. For a movie that insults me. Anyways, Karen fucking gets killed. Like, she goes up to this bedroom and she gets fucking killed by Michael. And it's edited. It's supposed to be like a reference to Psycho, I think, and the way that it's shot and edited. But it's so jarring and like so out of nowhere. Like, how the fuck did Michael get there? You know what I mean? Past all the ambulances and cops. How did he get up to that fucking room? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, I don't know. Anyways, guys, like, I'm sorry. This has been a really long review. But, like, and I'm sorry it's not as, like, focused. It's just, like, I'm so emotional about this. And I'm so pissed and disappointed that this movie didn't hit for me. It just angers me more than anything. You know, I'm just so disappointed. There's just so many things in this movie that, you know, with that scene with the mob, with Michael picking up the mask, epic. You know, with, you know, the emergence from the fire scene, you know, with the gun cabinet, epic. The flashback, epic. You know, all... there's so many moments in this movie that could have been so damn epic and fucking awesome. The Empire Strikes Back level of fucking awesome. But they fumble it with the dialogue and the character direction, the camera work. Like, the camera work's good, but it's like it's edited. The editing, and I'm sorry, it's not the camera work. It's the editing of the scenes that just feels so damn cheap, you know, amateurish, and these are big budget horror films. Like $20 million is pretty damn good for budget wise for a horror film, and it feels just so uninspired. And it sucks, man. I really wanted to get on this damn camera and talk so much about how much I love this movie. But instead, I'm sitting here feeling hurt and insulted. It would have been different if this movie would have been like 2018. I can forgive a little bit of disappointment. Because my expectations were high. With this movie, my expectations were pretty damn low. And they still fumbled the fucking ball. I mean, what they did for me was they lowered my expectations by 2018, the ending of 2018, and the dialogue of 2018. But you're opening with a fucking awesome flashback, and then Michael fucking going off, emerging from the fire, like two badass scenes. You open it with that, and you're fucking on cloud nine. So, all the expectations you had, they're fulfilled in that first 20 minutes, but then they get shit on. Like, it's like, fuck, guys, like, get your shit together. You understand it. Now, execute it, dude. Like, fuck. Like, and I don't want to seem like I'm, like I'm an armchair filmmaker. Like, oh, I could sit here and do it better. Everything's 2020, you know what I mean? Like, you can look back and say, oh, I would have done that and all that shit, but there's a lot of scenes in this movie that, hell, even one of the writers of this film fought, tooth and nail for some of the scenes to be removed or rewritten. There's so many scenes that, they should have listened to that guy, because some of these scenes are just fucking not good because of the writing. It's not the story, guys. It's not it's not the message that, mob mentality's bad, literally everything else, is fucking A game in it. Michael Myers, James G. Courtney, Jamie Lee Curtis, even though her performance feels a little bit tired, but that may be just because, her character's supposed to be hurt. Everything is A game in it. But the fucking writing, guys, the writing and the editing, and the delivery, the direction, it just feels so damn out of, like, it feels like the people that made 2018 are literally fucking gone. And they stayed for the first 20 minutes and then they left it to an intern. It just doesn't feel like they love this franchise. It feels like they love that first movie and wanted to make a sequel to it, and that's it. And they're pissed about making a sequel. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm angry now. I'm disappointed as hell. I mean, do I care about Halloween Ends? To a certain degree, yeah, but I'm actually so angry and pissed that after 3 or 4 viewings of this film, I'm still right back at square one. I haven't changed a lot. Like, there's nothing much that's changed. And that's what makes it so, like, difficult to sit here and shit talk the franchise that I love the most. Because I wanted to love this movie. Like I said, guys, I wanted to sit here more than anybody and say, this movie's a fucking 10 out of 10. But in reality, this movie is barely a 4. And that hurts. That hurts as a Halloween fan. And I got some shit. I'm going to talk about this. I got some shit that I shouldn't expect more from horror, Halloween. Everyone gives that excuse. It's a slasher movie. It's a slasher movie. The problem with that is that if we don't bitch, we're going to get shitty slasher movies again. And that's all we're ever going to get. We're not going to get good ones. You're doing yourself a disservice by saying that excuse. Always expect the most. Now, always expect the most, because to the artist, they're doing great. But if we don't say what's wrong, they're going to keep making the same mistakes. But in this movie's scenario, in this situation, we bitched, and they didn't learn from their mistakes. So the best thing I can do as a fan and a horror filmmaker is to not go see Halloween Ends. And I'm probably going to wait for it to release, on rental. See it on Peacock if it comes out then. But I'm not going to go and see this in the theater. Their quality of filmmaking, the writing, the direction, it's so fucking hard, man. They do something so damn right, but then they fumble on the same shit. Like, it's so hard to watch. It's so frustrating, man. It's just, it hurts. It hurts, guys. Fuck. They could have went all in, and they chose a half measure when they should have went all the way. Like, it's like they have so many scenes where fucking it's going for broke, but then they cut themselves off by either throwing in a joke or having really bad fucking dialogue. Like, there's shit in this movie. Like, it's not this. Like I said earlier, it's not the story. It's the writing. Like, fuck. Feels like goddamn Game of Thrones. Guys, let me know what you guys think of this movie in the comment section. I'm sorry it's almost, it's probably a long ass, hour long review. I'm sorry. It's just, I'm so disappointed. Like, it hurts to talk shit about my favorite franchise like this. But it's just how it is. That's just my opinion, And don't let my opinion influence you. Like, if you're watching this movie, I hope you didn't come and see this, review if you haven't seen it. But, don't let my opinion influence you. Let yourself decide how you feel. I don't want to sit here and say my opinion's the best. It ain't. It is not the best opinion, The best opinion is your own. I want you to go see it and enjoy this movie if you do enjoy it. I don't want to rob you of that experience. Don't let me fill your head, but, just know what my opinion is and accept it. You don't have to go to the comments and shit talk me or anything like that because I didn't like the movie. Just take my, what I've said today as with a grain of salt, and understand that, I'm not happy with what they've done. And, that's all that I have to say about it. Just try to enjoy it. Don't let me stain, what I'm trying to say is don't let me stain, what you think of this movie. If you think this movie's damn good, don't let me bring you down. If you like this movie, you like this film. Like, you fucking like it. It's what you like. But don't let me influence you, is what I'm trying to say. Because, everyone's got an opinion on a movie, everyone's got opinions. And my opinion is no better than yours. I'm a fan here just like you. But, as a horror fan, I expected more.